got them stable in terms of the players that they actually wanted to field. And coincidentally as well, it also got them on that run heading into Madrid.
And now we get to watch them clash as our opening game of playoffs. They're up here playing in the big leagues. And look at this to set up the pistol round. A 4-player defensive stack coming through to defend B main. They've read this perfectly.
The hard read by Sentinels. Holding their ground as well. It's going to be util used. Pound for pound here. Bar for bar. Almost shots are fired. Aftershock for aftershock. The blind. It was good towards the back of the pillar, but it just can't quite disjoint these players still. DRX. Claim the day here. Claim the round. Opening pistol round in their hands.
And that threw a great read for Sentinels of what was going to happen. SEN won every pistol, every bonus against Gen G, and here looked like they were set up to be able to succeed. Those flashes that came through, though, from Foxy9 and Mako completely ruined what Sentinels were going for. SEN needed a bit more of a spread out position so they didn't all get hit by every piece of utility, and yet the dump worked perfectly for the Korean team. Get off onto a much better start than Gen G did in the same spot, and we are going to be making those comparisons regularly, because how could you not? #1 versus #2 Pacific team, our 2 Korean teams playing on home turf. SEN's already taken one of them down. But you might think Gen G were the harder of the two. That is extremely debatable.
It's still up for debate, right? I mean, DRX, I think, have shown a very, very deep map pool. Even in the lead up to playoffs, the player form as well individually. It's been looking large and in charge. And I think that this is a team now that has that responsibility of being the sole representatives of Pacific in the playoffs. Not just that, but also the sole Korean team with Gen G out. Just outcomes that I think most people were not anticipating at all heading into champs.
Ten said in an interview earlier today that he hoped a lot of the Gen G fans were going to hop on board with SEN because, you know, you want to lose to the tournament winners. You want to become our fans so that Gen G didn't just get knocked out by a bad team. I don't think there's much chance of a lot of the Pacific fans hopping on board with SEN over DRX, considering the position that they're in. Korean team, last Pacific squad. Surely they're just going to snowball and pick up fans from those other teams as it goes.
You have to imagine.
They found themselves in a really easy post plan here. Sentinels went for the gamble stack over towards A, and now just looking to do some economic damage as flashback holds.
He's going to get overwhelmed though. Sheer amount of utility. Luckily, teammates happy to bail him out. Up and over the shoulder. They know that Zekken is tucked up deep. Yes, they do. Aftershock is committed by Celsius. Just for the kill towards the end here, but it won't be ours. Garnered off the back of it. No real guns either. At least the Bulldog. Celsius keeping it in his hands, but he might just go down anyway. Yes, he will.
Choose to go down with the Bulldog there because you'd rather have the Vandal or the Phantom into the next. It makes a lot of sense. DRX not chaining up towards any massive ultimates to get online, but there is a possibility that they might be able to get something like the Neural Theft out for this next round. This is where the danger can certainly start to happen. It was remarkable the way that Sentinels won all of those pistols in the game against Gen G, because historically this year, that's actually been a big weakness for SEN. They've been one of the worst teams in terms of the crop we have here at Champs, of winning those pistols. So this is still familiar territory. Their job now is to make sure the DRX don't snowball.
They look to do just that. It's the same old game plan so far from DRX. They get easy access over towards B main.
I love that idea, though. They're hoping to see if anybody was playing aggressive in B-main and catch them with that recon dart.
Mac just holding, but he might have missed his timing as well. Peeks from the top section of mid. Meanwhile, it's going to come through. Players towards the back of the side as Killtrip set up to try and potentially play off. This is just a bit of raw spam in play through the cage. Elsis pressing the advantage and somehow walks away with the 3. Flashback. Sole survivor. A minute left into the round. 5 bullets. Tens is holding for the peak at just the right time, so.
Was Bane reloading? Was he blind? How on earth did Zelsis swing into a crossfire there and somehow make it out unscathed? That's kind of ridiculous. It's put him actually ahead of the breach on the other side, Foxy9. Look at this, he's in. Okay, it was a reload. Just looking at it in the replay there, Bane is stuck in the reload animation and can't punish. Just has to watch in horror as Celsius swings through the front sight. Yeah, very. I mean, that could have easily gone wrong.
Right there.
Watch these B main hits though, because last time we saw them do this same kind of idea, but it was followed up with a recon dart, this same recon that's landing on front pillar. Now there's a meta that revolves around B main where you put the trip down, someone breaks the trip, and so often there's people contesting front B main on the defense. And that play is designed to push you back as a defender, get you holding right from the start to give up B main. It is working. DRX are getting into these positions to exec real fast.
Yeah, going through the motions as well. Getting rid of most of this util. Zelsis takes a time and pass that drone as well, so he wants to cut it up close, but DRX have no intention of heading over towards B.
Both trips broken though, so that's going to keep people on the B site. A lot of pressure here on Sassy, who was phenomenal and has been so far at Champs. You have to get on the board here, but it's early days.
Certainly so. Mako has the paranoia.
It looks like Foxy9's setting up to go for this fault line through from tiles.
Yeah, Tassy's going to get caught here. I mean, where the hell do you stand? He just evacuates immediately. Doesn't want anything to do with it. Going to be slowed down. Haunts up and over the top as well. But the wall's going to reveal onto Buzz, but there's no punish in sight yet. A Sassy peeks round. Fallout C, second return, at least with the kill. Going for seconds. It's cheeky, slightly greedy, yet he does get punished in the end with the trade still. He's turned it into that 3 versus 3. Norofeft given access and information towards it. Tens, though, lighting up these players. And a quick tap as well through the box. Foxy9 barely on any health at all. Fault line threw it out, sent to supplement. Bullet spam is perfect. Flashback. He's got too much to overcome there. Just cannot do it. Not against the form that Tens is in right now. It's a 3-piece to finish off that round.
Being able to stabilize here, Sentinels. It looked dangerous. Sassy's position, just holding on to A there, and yet he read the play. They didn't lead with the fault line. They led, I believe, with a recon dart. And that allowed him enough time to be able to escape, and Zekin came in. What a slide, what a punish onto Buzz.
Spike planted.
Tens
One enemy
continues
remaining.
to have big impact, as he did in the Gen G game.
Hey!
This is going to put the hurt onto DRX.
Certainly is going to be knocking their economy at least down. Sheriff's and Bucky in play here, so taking a step back. Sentinels smelling that blood in the water. You can see Zekin's just going to opt into the outlaw as well.
And SEN are about to get up to some pretty large ultimates as well. So a situation where DRX could have had an opportunity to snowball, just disappeared from them. Never quite had that moment. Here's that same stun set up for Foxy9. Tens is ready, holding paranoia. So both teams looking to just hold on to the status quo. As DRX push forward and SEN trying to block them back. Paranoia didn't get used here though.
No more dreams.
Instead, Sassy holds the line with gun in hand.
So have a pretty good idea of how they want to try and lock down this A-main extremity. Paranoid is now sent flying for Tens. Few stray bullets.
There.
Bit of chip damage onto the DRX players, but they are fully cut out of the pitch here. Needs to be careful he doesn't go down to a few stray bullets. It could offer an in for DRX in the round that otherwise don't really have too much of a chance of. Now, B-main control was conceded, so Bane's picked this one up. There's pings out as well, but SEN have not drifted bodies away. They still have a lot of players here to receive.
Outlaw.
Yeah, and this is where it thrives. Second shot is going to be missing, but not with the stun. And oh my god! Just putting them into the blender.
I love that selfless play as well from Zekin, because it traps the rest of DRX, even if he went down into the choke point where the rest of his team can come back through. What a time, by the way, to pull out Zekin's first game this year on Neon. Going into the playoffs, change around the comp. Everybody's looking at this game thinking, oh, okay, DRX's map pool is looking good, but maybe SEN can win on the Raze maps. We come in here, a Raze map, and Zekin swapped over to Neon.
Spike down.
Sliding all over them.
Remaining.
This is a pick that we've been looking forward to all year long, but we've been denied it.
Until now.
Was this the ace up Sentinel's sleeve all along?
It was match of playoffs as well. These are both teams, you know, they're going to...
Tricks he'll pull out to try to win the mental game.
Yeah.
As they did when they lifted their trophy this year in Madrid by kind of booming Gen G's mental on Icebox. This is the point where DRX need to rally, and SEN are hitting them, trying to hit him with a haymaker early on.
Yeah, that's a nice little fast play into mid just in case there was one player catching the contact. They break most of the util. They don't hold on to the space. They're happy to concede it, give it up, back away for now.
Ideally, this is a round where you want to be fighting before Foxy9 can pick up an ult orb and get into position to use that Rolling Thunder too. So I think that's another reason why it's a great timing to go for an early play like that. Just didn't find anybody. So now it kind of becomes the game of, is Foxy9 allowed to get this ult orb in B main, which it looks like it's going to be uncontested, and then how does SEN play around it? You've got to make it feel like you're on site. You can't just play fully off site. Teams are too good at that kind of stuff. They're just going to walk in. So you still got to apply a little bit of pressure while not getting caught.
Shotgun's going to go flying just in case.
They're not even going for the ult orb.
No. High ground angle, tens! He's played up here before, and Buzz is all too aware. Stun. Rattles his way forward. Seconds blinded though, and he will have to give that one up. Can't offer himself up to take the fight into the 1v1. Foxy9 with a plant. No pushback from it, and now he's earned the ult into the post. It's a Nightfall going to be used to try and combine their might with a Rolling Thunder, pound for pound, to push them back once more, and a flank occurring from behind. Flashback unaccounted for. Second though, straight back in, and the supplement utility is just perfect, just missing. Foxy9 alive for now in a 1v2. Can't isolate the fights properly. It's Sassy able to beam him down, Phantom in hand, keeping that form flowing from the prior matches that he's played so far at Champs.
So DRX's idea there was that they were going to get into sight and use the plant to get that Rolling Thunder online, not give SEN as many cues as to where they were on the map and where they were going to be hitting with it. It's even a nice opener to catch tens on a high ground position that he normally plays. And yet, SEN are ahead of the game when it comes to ults. As soon as that Rolling Thunder came out, there's a Nightfall, there's their own Rolling Thunder in response, and they collapse, utilizing that pace that the Neon gives you to be able to scale up onto site really quickly.
Sentinels are one of the leading teams in terms of retake success. They're pretty good at that regard, and I think the Neon, like you said,
all that he's been able to
do,
achieve.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, Foxy9 looked up to him. They have a very wholesome interaction that always occurs as well if they do cross paths.
Okay, and I'm taking a look. We're back in the game here, round 7, and Sentinels are 4 stacking over towards A to start this off. You'd be forgiven for thinking that that's the team on the eco taking a gamble, but it's not at all.
It's a kill trip setup towards the back of the side, John QT.
A very passive
Very
kill trip
passive,
setup.
so he's holding for aggression. But B main control, given up, turned over towards Bane. He's going to try and hold on to that space while the rest of his team looks for picks, looks for opportunities out through mid.
If this cam gets broken, John is going to struggle massively to maintain info in this area.
The all offloaded. Buzz is going to use the overdrive to try and barrel his way in through the side again. We know
John can't even play off these trips.
To the back now, that's a Hunter's Fury to supplement. Tripped up though, caught up. Buzz deals with it nicely, and have given up full control towards the back of the side. Sentinels. Open space here, but now they want to try and make this retake happen through the market area. This is going to put the pressure on the Mako. Paranoia and the stun, it's all perfect. Alternating the lanes up. Buzz is going to have to play up into their face with the right click. It's going to be rewarded, but not enough for the second kill. Zelsis, a stave off Foxy9 in through the back of the site, up and over as well. Too many targets to overcome, yet still Foxy9 does himself another one. But against the weaponry, you got to think. Inevitability, potentially. Shots rattled by flashback. To no avail. Zekken's ace seals up. Rounder had just that slightest amount of danger.
Outrageous. A day of firsts here for Zekken. Picking up Neon for the first time in 2024, and also, weirdly enough, his first ace of 2024 as well.
Which is wild.
Absolutely bonkers. I mean, he's been a phenomenal player all season. He's only gotten better, actually, as the year's gone on. But he still hasn't had an ace this year. Pulls it out. In a round, actually, where there was some serious danger, too. Sentinel's macro setup had left B completely open. They had to get back in there, and it looked a bit tough. John doesn't have any armor.
He's
forgot it.
Now, of course, John's going to buy armor. Oh, he does.
Oh, just in time.
Clutch.
Almost falling into the IGL debuff. Through a bit preemptive, potentially, but it does push DRX away. They don't want anything to do with towards the main extremity. Operator in the hands of Zekken. He's got a sight set now, and he will be feeling that pressure. Needs to be defended as well from the market crunch. DRX have full control of that area of the map. This first shot accuracy. Zekken maintains that composure, doesn't take the shot just from seeing the shoulder. It's still there, but doesn't expect that the player's already out. Bit of misinformation there for him. John QT Seal tucked up into the corner. Might be able to play spoiler. Already Sentinels have dropped 2 players into the mix. DRX coming out with all the answers for it. Still Sassy, he's there. Forced spray down to the operator. That was dropped down into main from Briar.
Here.
The post-plan positioning of DRX. We slow it down into the moment now. Just looks impeccable. Last one. Just Celsius to stand against it, and he's not even able to save that rifle and scurry away with it. So DRX back in it, stop the bleeding.
Not just that, they've actually identified the weakness in Sentinel's defensive setup. Yeah, it's only the first rifle round they've put on the board, but they're now figuring out B main is being given to them mostly for free. Okay, this time Zekken was there with an op. But also Market has got nobody really playing inside of it heavily. They're playing very passive setups over towards the B site. And DRX have just started taking all of that space. So I agree with this decision coming from the Sentinels coaching staff. Kaplan as the coach.
Yep.
And it's just by picking up that operator and giving it to Zekken.
Holding it down through B, because, I mean, DRX were doing a lot of contact plays in through B main, not using too much util.
It wasn't really contacting though. They were breach flashing, they threw a recon, like they were sometimes stunning as well.
Well, now you're seeing it. Same signs of life.
And this setup designed to try to catch John Cutie. He backs out of there early on, and Zekken's taking contact in Market with his op, hoping that DRX again go for that kind of contacty play through Market.
Noise bait idea from DRX, you could see it. Just from the way that Buzz was hopping around, getting the noise, but now one-way smoke propped up here. We're using the drone.
I like this. You push Sassy off the angle, you make sure that Sentinels do not have info in this side of the map, and then you can go back and re-hit over towards B.
It's Celsius over.
It's absolutely looked like B has been the favored site for DRX to hit, and I don't expect this round to be an exception to that.
Yeah, do they get players already inserted?
Do they get a free cross on mid? Is Celsius going to try to contest? Looks like he's not thinking about it currently, but they could walk into the off.
Smoke up, shots in the face, and well, blinded up from somewhere. That's Mako, right?
Blind.
Yeah. So Bane just couldn't see a bloody thing there, but now I know at least the operator is back online too. With 30 seconds left, they've got no pivot
30
options.
seconds left.
Gonna have to overwhelm this A setup. Assassin's got Eddie a stub. Can't quite hit that first shot. Accuracy sees as well as dodge. Duke, but trade inside, at least from TenZ. Now backs himself away, retreating to the safety of the site, and there's holes all over the place here. DRX attempting to make the most of it, but with only a few seconds to remain, it's all just ran out, ran dry. Have to back away, keep these guns into the next, if they even can. But they're being hunted. Zelsis punished though.
That gets Foxy one away from Rolling Thunder. At this point, DRX need big ultimates to get across the line. SEN, good tag timeout. Small adjustment, not a large one like I was suggesting, just a minor adjustment of where the operators played, but a good read that DRX were going to go for another one of those B splits. I think DRX should have adjusted that though. I think, you know, when your opponent's when you just won a round with a B split, and then your opponent takes a tag timeout, I think you should probably be adjusting as well.
Right.
And not just going back into a very similar B split strat. Zekken looking like he wants to take the orb towards B main. It's a difficult area because that's where DRX have been putting most of their early pressure. But this time, the side split, and they force out Paranoia early on. This all a distraction for Mako to slink through. And what a timing he's found.
He slipped straight past, hasn't he? Could deliver the blade to the back. Necessary to open up this A defense, but TenZ is still holding it down himself. Out for the elbow angle, but Zekken punished. Now they know at least that they've lost control of this one. Knives are out, full running away. Mako needs to play for his life. Does he know that Sass is already up onto it, dodging the flash? The IGL doing the most. Standing up to that challenge and the pressure, and even just picking apart the players. Zelsis had no chance. Head on a swivel, had to look in either direction. Just gambled incorrectly and forcing a save out of John QT.
Beautiful set round that DRX have pulled out there. That's the kind of thing that I wish they'd done straight out of the tag timeout when you know that SEN are making adjustments, but nevertheless, a great time to run it here in round 10 as well. All of that A pressure early on, allowing Mako to get a really deep timing, and they even had a second layer of Flashback going for the more conventional lurk timing too.
Yeah.
If Flashback had died there in mid with that duel he'd taken, it wouldn't have mattered actually too much because Mako could have still been that knife in the back. And DRX love doing these double lurk strategies. They run those fairly often on bind as well on their attack side, though of course we're not going to see that in the series today. But watch out, because Mako and Flashback can be a deadly 1-2 combo on the lurk.
Yeah, I'm curious if SEN are going to be adjusting their setup as well. That top mid angle has been left pretty real estate, pretty open for most of the half.
And DRX have not been really exploiting it too much, apart from the round we just watched. They've mostly been trying to hammer through B main, through A main. Haven't worked mid that much. Might be part of their conditioning to focus heavily on the extremities to begin with, to try to loosen up mid, and then grab a couple rounds towards the end of the map, or the end of the half. Tens now has the operator, and another 4 stack on A. I'm not sure about this kind of setup. It's leaving B not just weak, but passive. Even if the SEN players rotate over to help John, they're probably still going to have to give up market and B main. They're not going to win these areas back.
Seems to be at least part of the game plan whenever a bit of Rolling Thunder online or Buzz has the overdrive ready and waiting into his hands, flashes through as well, sent flying as well, but again it's that open sight, shock darts, at least removing one portion of it, and they know what the second trip is. Buzz knows roughly where it is. He's going to leave it up though. Go for the plant anyway, now retreating into that ever lovable B main post plant.
Would be a good time for Sentinels to go for some kind of mid push.
This is slow from Sen.
It is.
Against the Rolling Thunder, I feel like it could be some worries, but a Nightfall at least gives them peace of mind. They know that nobody's hunkering down onto the side. With that lurk spotted, flashback down and out. Norofef gives them full information. Rolling Thunder has to be used nice and early here. Paranoia alongside it, sees to the feet. Aftershock into the corner. Overdrive, let loose. Zekken trying to get explosive, trying to get electric. John QT trying to play himself in, but he's fallen asleep at the wheel, and a few straight bullets. Surely needs to end the line, but his DRX players are all gone in the end. But time, as I said, got a little bit too slow from Sentinels at the beginning of that.
That's a rough one from Sen. They had the right ideas, but they didn't hit the gas pedal early enough. I'm not even sure who gets the credit there for the clutch. The Red Bull clutch on DRX goes to one of the players that was left alive towards the end there. Was that Foxy9? John catches the lurk. They know what's going on, but this crunch into B main, a little too slow. And also, I think Foxy9 does a great job there of picking up Sassy. I think he was right about to get half on the spike. Even then, I think they didn't even have time to get half on it towards the end there.
Ball util was just too strong. DRX been walking in to the B site for most of the time, and now, again, trying to heavy conditional, at least pull some util out through the A main fight. They've been doing this quite a bit.
Zekken takes the op back. Was on 10s for the previous round. They're putting so much emphasis early on stacking players A on the defense to get somebody posted. It is working, but DRX once more start moving their way towards B main. They're never really worried about taking this part of the map. And it allows them to run these B execs pretty simply.
Yeah. Drone's used very far back just in case there is an offer into the B main angle. That's what they're anticipating. Clears most of the space again.
Tens not playing market this time. On the backside spot. It's new for him. Can he anchor?
Whoa!
Not a chance!
That's rapid from Buzz. He takes out one of the star players of Sentinels. No worries, no qualms. Up through mid. Flashback's still going to be opting in to try and play that backstab role and position. Tucks himself to the corner. There's a door in his face, and he can hear plenty of footsteps, plenty of rotations. Now he becomes that insurance policy. Buzz. Angle trains, but he's missed that timing. Still doesn't decide to hold himself up onto it once more. Overdrives here, just to try and get Buzz out of dodge. Smokes up in their faces. It's an unusual position to be playing in, but still with a Rolling Thunder. Aftershock all combined through. Buzz has been unaccounted for, and he's spraying them through. Seltzer's half will not save you. That's a 4-piece and a flawless finish to the half. DRX drag it back up to 6.
What a finish for the Korean team here. 3 in a row, 4 out of the last 5. Making those adjustments and recovering beautifully. Oh, that entry is amazing from one of our best players so far at Champs.
It's been electric between both of these teams as well, and I'm sure it's just going to keep on going even into that second half.
And he's been fantastic. The last month from Buzz has been unbelievable in terms of his form. Zekken continues to be a top 5 duelist in the world, in my opinion. And we're getting to see him on Neon today. What's the value difference between these two players? DRX start out with a triple stack, looking to try to control mid. Broken by that one smoke that Tens places. Looks like they're going for a re-clear.
Yeah, I think that was the goal as well from Sen. They sent out the Paranoia, but no, or at least the Prowler, I should say. Here's the second one. Mako spots it and players, so he needs to give up that space now, back away, play the rest of his team in, of which they have arrived. And so this might just be Bit of a skirmish and a scramble now, and a scrap here with the util blinded up second. Spamming away, praying with the ghost in hand. Still returns with a 2! Up from the side, Buzz is definitely dealing out and dishing back that action straight at them. John Qt shuts him down. Gliding round, flashback. Doesn't quite dodge the flash in time, and he has got a lot to do in this spot. 2 to overcome, and it's a little bit too much at that.
SEN respond with a pistol of their own, bringing them into the lead again in this opening map. Really nicely played one too. The pathing from Zekken, I like it. The follow-up on the paranoia is great, and it also, in this position, he's defended from A-Link. That cover stops him from being shot while he can focus on players in backside, and John trades people out in this round very nicely. Buzz needed to hit another world-class shot in order to win that one, and just couldn't quite find it in the moment. Pistols like that could end up making all the difference. Here you see a more traditional position from Flashback. Notice at the beginning of this round, the way that he was throwing the cam into B main early on. These cams, the one that's just above Zekken's head, these have huge value. That's why he's trying to break it in this moment as well. But we didn't really see John go for that. John was sitting really passive, so he didn't get caught by early round util. Flashback's willing to take the risk. We'll have to see if SEN can punish it once rifles come online in later rounds.
DRX is going to be late to the party here, still holding for that util just in case there was a player catching that contact. Tens, it might be the mark that they were looking for still. He's got that rifle well trained, and the rest of his team in position, taking that space. Any aggression just punished almost immediately.
A nice idea. Buzz got caught by a flash just as he was looking to try to take the fight. And here's the final player on DRX. Caught, taken down. Clean.
Yeah.
All of these weapons carried forward. Tens is going to be able to drop that Vandal and buy another one. So they should have plenty of damage in terms of their arsenal heading into round 3. Can SEN put together another bonus round? I say another. They haven't had one in this match yet, but against Gen G, 4 out of 4 bonus rounds converted.
It's insanity. You know, even the most consistent teams in the world don't really get them with that much. I mean,
not at
every single one available, they just grasp. Now, see if they can do it again against DRX, the lone hometown heroes.
Not trying to run an early play there to punish Flashback.
Haven't cleared the cam either. Trip was a little bit too high, but does get broken in the end by that aftershock. And again, free reign over towards the site. At second, it's already making sure to lead that one for his team. Very much the spearhead. Paranoia's be used, gliding its way out to push back some of these players as well, but time has been bought. Plan only just going down. Here's a fault line. Might be that punish in sight, not quite. In through the back though, not anticipating it. Zekken! Beaming them all down. Just with that Spectre in hand still, it's evened out. 3 versus 3. Rifles in a few hands as well. Yeah. Tens, pixel angle. Full confidence in his own aim. The Paranoia just missing, sliding straight past Mako with the adjustment. Foxy9 defusing, needs to be spammed down. Few taps to the bullet. John Qt cannot find him. The 1 round just under the nose of John Qt. Stays alive at least towards the end, but that's DRX essentially stealing it.
SEN got themselves into a post plant there. It was winnable, but they've also done really solid damage to DRX. DRX actually might even have to take an eco after this. Zekken got more value than you would expect, and yes, the trade-outs were good. I like the idea of throwing a trip, actually, from the retake team as well, so that the post-planners can't push that final diffuser. All right, DRX are not going to take an eco, but spoiler alert, 3 Guardians out to play. The economic damage coming out of that bonus is pretty huge.
It's very much pulling over towards the scraps. Now to double face over towards Buzz. He just cannot stand his ground against it. Mako willing to square up, but the aftershock out and away with a Prowler. Now the fault line. You can see the layers of the util is just a little bit too good. And the flash was dodged by Zekken. Not enough, though, to win that fight out. Foxy9 delivers a death blow, at least with a few stray bullets once more. And this is putting an immense amount of pressure in through the back of the site. Dart needs to try and help out these players and push them back once more. Foxy9 with the aftershock. It is good. Sees now through the back once more. SEN trying to find these marks and targets potentially there. It's a rich environment. Sassy creeping, hopping over. It's watched by Bane. Can't win it. Damage done. Pre-fire onto the corner. Immaculate. And in the motion, 2v2. Bullets still remaining. Sassy can make a play with it, but opting to back away and go for the reload.
Tens has Spike.
Find you.
Now they're going for the refight. Tens does have the spike. If the Haunt maybe went a little bit deeper, I think they would have gone for this one, but they got to watch Every angle just in case. Flashback's lurking. In through behind. 10's now planting. In for that backside control. Real uncomfortable post plant for Sentinels. It all comes down to these first shots that they hit and bullets exchange through the walls. No kills yet, but spraying them down. Skewered in place. That's sassy. Blessed in the moment.
I don't think he even realized that second player was there. You saw him flick his crosshair away and then double take. Wait, did I just win the round?
Yeah.
All of that prior damage done. The Guardians were actually still hitting though for DRX. 3 kills, all coming from the Guardians in that round. Nice reposition towards the end from TenZ. You saw that?
Yeah, he did. Definitely looked away. I mean, listen, better lucky than good.
Guys, we need to dumb this down.
Okay, we're not going to hear the exact strat, but prep for something dumb coming up. Now, I think what he means by that is keep it simple, right? Not necessarily stupid, but just go for the execs. They're not able to hold on, fall back into some classic B post plants as long as they don't have, massive ults to be able to work with. And that's what Sentinels have gone for. They've already done massive eco damage across their bonus, and now following up in round 16.
Making sure that they can use some of that util. Here's an overdrive offloaded again, but a rolling thunder used in kind. There was no tap there onto the spike to force it out early. Sen just opted to use that one themselves. Just hearing these. Oh! What is that? Shock darts rebounding. Foxy9 now defusing, sticking. Needs to be defended, but the bullet spam again. Right in through the smoke, just finding all sorts of targets, but just Bane left alive despite the heroics. And not enough to do it. Be able to get some damage, and it is nice. With a 4-piece to finish. But still another round accrued, added to the tally for Sen.
I could not tell you how Bane's managed to get a 4K in that round. Where did the shock dart come from?
I have no idea.
How was there so much follow-up? A double kill from that. All right, but as you say, fairly irrelevant when all things are down. Take a look here in the replay and see what happens. 1 HP they're brought down to. So just a huge amount of damage from Buzz's ult. Followed up with a shock dart. Okay, but as I say, somewhat irrelevant at the end of the day because Sentinel's economy is flourishing, and now we get the rifle round. Sen,
Comes down to...
that's missed.
Yeah, that's supposed to land onto the wire.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. Again, wasn't clearing out any positions that Haunt didn't.
Sen still with full control over towards mid. DRX looking to at least contain it. Got a crossfire setup, at least they did. It's now just down to Buzz. He's the one who's got to hold this one down. He might be calling for some backup here. Second squares up, faces the challenge. Buzz is dropped in that head-to-head.
What an electric entry.
Give me a corpse.
Page up top. Smoke in the face. John QT is desperately hunting for an ult. That is precarious, but barely escapes of his life. 3 stray bullets not enough. Not a nightfall. Up and around Bane. Taking a peek, swinging wide, does win it now against Sassy, flashes again. Overwhelming out through the back, this is Bane still helping him out. Dart up and over, it's gonna be broken in the end. Spraying him down, second! He's a menace right now, he's an absolute menace. But Foxy9 just cannot bring it over the line.
These rounds are coming down to the wire. Sentinels trying to control the chaos. You heard it from Zelsis earlier on. Trying to keep things simple, and yet there's multi-kills going all over the place. Bane followed up from his success on the eco by being able to get a couple there that were massive, and Foxy9 almost managed to accomplish the impossible. But it's Zelsis who stands strong, and Zekken delivering far more than should be asked of him so many times.
It's that we did it, baby!
You can feel that, man, the vibes. Flourishing for Sen.
And another eco for DRX. Their economy's been a massive problem for them on the defense side.
In shambles.
Ever since kind of snowballing off that bonus, which DRX did manage to actually prevent Sen from winning that round, but at what cost? They've just never been able to get their eco online since.
Taking too much of a knock.
Gotta go.
That pressure out over towards A as well, DRX. As we've been saying, the economy's not good for them right now into this round. They want to shore up the A site with bodies. Praying it might be enough for them, but okay, and it actually is still. Shots rattled from the Sheriff, unable to claim that kill. 10 is out in the open, there's no way he's still alive. And backs himself away, they want nothing to do with it now. Too many signs of life from the DRX players, and they've realized it entirely. Flashback desperately trying to retreat and try and shore up the defense over towards B, but John QT's already snuck his way in there.
They already know where all 4 players are. They know that there's nobody on the B site, and John, he has to not over-push this. If he gives it away, it's disastrous for Sen.
Doesn't want to give away the gun here. Still in through. It's going to be ults committed. DRX, a Hail Mary is called and asked for. Answered by Buzz and Bane. Dynamic as a duo. And a clearer path to success instantaneously.
Tens.
An all here for Tens.
He can pick the spike up.
They're trying to stack it. 3 bodies. Is it going to be
Denial.
enough? Beautiful by DRX.
What a sick play. God, we've been waiting for one of those for so long. 3 bodies surrounding the spike. Tens can do naught but watch this round tick away.
Oh my God.
Great awareness of what was going on in that moment from DRX. That's sick.
These 2 teams are pushing each other to the brink, it feels like, in terms of the decision making.
And it's all very rapid, right? The tempo of this game has gone up dramatically. If Zelsis wanted to try to simplify things a little, it might be beneficial to run some slower rounds. But with the Neon in the mix and the way that Second is trying to entry by just knocking his head through brick walls, it feels like Sen always playing high tempo, and then DRX are matching them.
As we saw, that risk does pay off for DRX, but now Sen, they go full throttle and already catching kills. Reveal up through the back, Foxy9, potentially no long for this world, and yes, ran down with a follow-up damage as Sassy. Running gun, here but Bane does return the fire, turns the kill for the trade, buzzes straight back and through, Tens up and over, drop in, and now it is getting messy. Dark has to be dealt with. It's just in time, they'll reveal onto these players, but still anchoring strong. Bane needs to lock and hold it down. 3-piece, Tens in that 1v2, he knows the drone is coming forward. 2-piece forward, flashback, has his teammates back.
We are fully in the mud already today. These rounds are absolutely bonkers. A timeout call for Sentinels, and I think it's the right decision to go for.
It's got to be a slap on the wrist, I think.
Honestly, the fast play, it worked. It's a cool strat. The Haunt got big value. Zekken's entry was marvelous too. Buzz overheated there.
Yep.
It all just came down to these 2 frags from Bane. Being able to stop John QT and Zelsis trading that out over towards A-Link defines the round, but even though the high tempo fragger in the map,
set the stage nicely for Sentinels to get a lot of these rounds here. Still holding on to the lead of 2. Their own map pick.
Buzz looking to try to contest over towards B, spots out Zekken, decides not to. Trip broken. We see a lot of these Sovas have great lineups like that. It only matters really though if you're going to go for that mid-round mid-push. Or late-round mid-push.
All grouped up through B main by Sen, but second guessing themselves.
They haven't gone for the ult orb onto Zelsis. Perhaps hoping that they can get that post-plant ult orb up. Just by Zelsis driving the spike into the ground. It's slow from Sen. I mean, I think this is absolutely what Kaplan's told them to do, is slow the pace down. But at this point, they're not really accomplishing too much because they haven't taken any elbow control or pushed like Mako off his line. They do have B main and mid, so it's not completely passive from Sentinels yet, but hard to see where they're looking to end unless this is a B split.
It's pings for a smoke out through market, so I think it will be that B split that you were talking about.
But now Sassy...
The trouble is, it's too little util. It just feels like a fake, and I think that DRX know this when they're still going to be holding it down. 3 players now anchoring over towards the B side. The camera catching that contact, so they know that the play is taking up residence out through market and now in through their site. It's all about how they deal with this one. Beautiful stun, that's Buzz, trying to make the most of it, up and through, not expecting the flashback was there, and holding all the angles, smokes, spam through, 1 out. That's 5 alive, a flawless finish, and it brings DRX up to 10, now 1 step away from equalizing.
Sick awareness from Bane as well, knowing that they wouldn't use the recon dart, wouldn't need it. Threw it into Narnia, send it over to Bind there. DRX crossfires though, clearly enough to be able to deal with this. And I think you're dead right, Brent. I don't think that Sen had put enough pressure over towards A to drag the rotates and make that winnable for them. And while we were talking about the DRX economy being a problem, the whole third quarter, now Sentinels are finding themselves in this loop of rifle round, eco round, rifle round, eco round. They need a big play here, either an individual or a strat to pull out. that can right the ship, because DRX are making a very strong comeback on defense.
It's our first game of playoffs, of course, but that's one everybody's set their sights on to. Early days still so far. Essentially that midway point of the tournament. Mako is going to be challenged here. A lot to be asked of him, but I think with the fault line connecting, he's just going to be using CPs to get the hell out of there. Yep. Damage done, spraying away. It's barely just cutting him up. Enough for him to stay alive here. Rolling Thunder, though, it is committed, and this is an abundance of util. Going to be used out here. Very much all in by Sentinels, and they need to come up with the damage and the goods, but already that counter util comes out swinging. DRX with the stun to supplement the defense. These players have not been dealt with. Tens does cut itself up, just cannot land it as well, even when he was trying to control his aim down. With the smokes dissipating, open angles, and the spike in the middle of nowhere. With no weaponry really to speak of here for Sen.
Last player standing.
The
30
round's
seconds
chalked. DRX have maintained control. And the 4 players that stay alive, I've got to credit this round win to the one who died. That shot from Mako was outrageous. He got hit by the breach ultimate. And you might think that's a huge investment for Sentinels. Clearly a mistake based on them losing the round. But they had an opportunity here to clean up Mako, clean up Foxy9 until that happened. Shot in the back of the head, putting down Zekken. How has he done that? I mean, he's stunned up. I guess it's just the cosmetic stuff. That's got to be a tilter. Because Sen invested a big ult into that. They'd like it back at 11-11.
This round is so damn important now. The money stretched thin, really, for Sen. At this point, as we've already said, it's 11-11 DRX. Found that footing and more. Money flourishing. They don't have to worry about it for any point now of the regulation of this map. Stuns ricocheting through.
He's under the trip.
Even. Yeah, he's just got straight past that one, but it does just chew up and tag up onto John QT. He's going to go down to the kill trip as well as reveals all of them. Down, up and over. Buzz will fall and drop in the end, but Bane is right back at him. Able to help him out with the trade. It's all just gone to pot right now for Sen. Tagged up Tens. Doesn't stand a chance there. TPs to try and at least obfuscate where he might be going, but it's tag still in his face. Dodging the flash, but not enough. Crossfires. Set up all about. DRX now just need to take that one more step.
DRX's defense on B is so much more effective than what we saw from Sentinels when the sides were swapped. The cages, the trips, all finding value, allowing them to play for backside control, and the flood that comes in from the rest of DRX to support onto flashback is fantastic. Sen can't really get through. They're trying to break the trips, but they still get caught by both of them, and they're never taking backside. Can Sen pull out something to get us into OT here?
Stray bullets going to be exchanged. No kills. Adjustment by Buzz with the shot.
Good info, but Buzz picks up a rifle now.
That's the benefit of being rich.
There are many benefits to being rich.
Oh, of course. We won't get into it. Smoked up though, through the face. Buzz is still going to try and be rooted to that spot here, mid-exploration. Needs to be value from this from Sentinels as well. To Crossfighters being held from either side. If Foxy overextends a little bit, no, just looks away. There are gaps to be found, but Sentinels have to be brave enough to just step over it. Instead, it's Foxy9 tearing them to pieces. Drops his idol. Zekken was up next, on through the chopping block, and he might have just done enough. 3 left to stand for Sentinels to pull it back from the brink. There's 40 seconds left in the round, which is some time to work with, but again, they don't have the players and not even really the weaponry at it. Walking their way through its contact plays to see if they can get themselves in for the front of the site. Celsius sticking, sees denied. John QT though, domes him. And Bane's also dropped in the process. Flashback, no longer for this world. They're doing it and pulling it back.
Here.
DRX cannot afford to lose this situation. This was a 5v3. It's crumbled away from them. Foxy9, the player who managed to get those 2 openers, is now asked alongside Mako the veteran to do the most. How do you crack into this B main post?
Aftershock still for Celsius too. Time pressure is mounting. You can already hear it. The spike is ticking. Foxy9, straight flash, but he needs to get half, and he needs it now.
The stick.
That's the only wink on Foxy9. He's got it at least, but tagged up, stuck up. Mako, spam and sprayed. He will not survive. Overtime. It's almost preordained, man.
Switching sides.
That is the miracle that Sentinels were looking for. 5 rounds lost in a row. A 3v5, losing your 2 hottest fraggers.
30 seconds left.
And John has recovered it off the back of Sassy's support.
Taken out.
A kill, a nightfall, John pushing into backside.
Time for a break.
And they've somehow pushed things to overtime.
Insanity.
Sen now get a chance on their defense. The sides will flip. Sen were playing super passively over towards B. They stacked 4 players A in a lot of the rounds. They're not changing things too heavily up here. Still 3 players defending over towards the A side. John set up slightly further forwards. And Ten's anchoring.
Just towards the tail end, I think, of the attack side rounds of DRX, where they spotted that mid was the weakness in the setups for Sentinels.
They also thought, though, that market was the weakness.
Shot dart through, wall up and over. That's a paranoia to help Buzz out as well. He's going to be trying to make this play happen. Stuns, ricocheting. Strong QT can still hold his ground, but he's being swarmed. Not expecting that position. Flashback, rapid onto it, but Buzz has been cleaned up through the back of the site. Tens is no more.
4v3 for DRX. Don't know where Buzz was going, but his team's still at a player advantage. If they get this, Foxy's 1 away from his rolling thunder. It's a hard enough retake to pull off anyway, even without the breach ult.
DRX are fully aware. Just have to play their lives. The util is avoided. The TP by Mako is cheeky if he opts in. Fakes it. Tap from Zekken. No full committal. They're scared of the mid flank. Fault 9's there. Snap back. An adjustment from Bane with the rifle in hand. Dropping Celsius. Sass is going to do so much more now, but already that time, and now the mid lurk. It's what they were anticipating, expecting. They know that nobody's on it. DRX should have done this. Into that 1v1. Circle shrinking. Sassy forced to stick. And flashback. Handed that absolute slam dunk finish.
DRX have another map point. They found that hole again. Up through mid. The way that John is playing around mid and market, he's not aware of these timings. He either needs more support or a little more awareness of how DRX are going to be putting pressure towards market and mid at the same time.
Yeah.
And a beautiful identification of the holes once more in Sentinel's defensive setup. DRX have found the answer, at least to get things to have an opportunity to win the map. As yet to close out.
That point.
But it took a miracle from Sentinels to put 1 on the board on their attack side.
Flash out.
Flash clearing. Celsius going to be vacuuming up the orb. Slow and steady though. Might be leaving a player in B main inserted, or might just opt in to go for over towards the A site. Over towards the A site. Sassy was tagged up in the midst of all of that. I believe by the drone down through mid, wanted to break it as well to threaten like his team was taking mid control.
Definitely feels like they're getting set up for a B split here from DRX's point of view. Of course, the intention.
Sound made. Mako. Hearing most of this one, even sent the stun flying, a little bit of a precaution there from Foxy 9. The trouble with the A side is as well, you have to kind of take it into these 2 waves. DRX, they have the defenders. Final bastion of players as well. They're going to cement themselves to the spot as well, but it's fakes on fakes because guess what? Tens, he didn't give up B main control this entire time.
DRX have heard them leaving, but Buzz, I don't think fully confirmed that.
Point over. Bit of peace of mind here for Sen. They're going to be trying to make their moves now out through market again. It's just fakes on fakes, but I think this is just indecision, hesitancy.
20
Rearing his head for
seconds.
Sentinels. You have to make a play in. I mean, DRX is still in position. They're going to be able to point you down, follow through with the rifles in hands as well. It has to be mechanical ability. You're down to 12 seconds. There's still these players holding tight, close up, cutting them up, trading on site. Foxy 9, spamming, spraying, praying away. Time has to be stuck at 10. He holds it down. Foxy 9, barely alive. In the double digits, but no more, no long. That's 13-13. And talk about cutting it close for Sen, man. That is absurd.
Sen look completely scrambled. These attack rounds that they've put together in round 24 and 26 are nothing short of miraculous. They shouldn't be getting them across the line. When you're running in with only 15 seconds left into a stacked A site, DRX should be able to come out on top of that, and yet the Sen, I don't know, the Sen rifling mostly, being able to come out on top. The trading was decent. but I don't think they're going to be able to put together rounds like that too often. It feels absurd that they've managed to do.
Yeah, it's just not consistent. Change up from Sentinels though. Opted into that B main control, at least early on. Trying to use the smokes as well to hold and lock this one down out through Market. Here's a battle, and here's a skirmish. Celsius postured and pushed back, at least traded into play. Second, straight damage and bullet, at least through Foxy9. He might have done enough to play Tens. Back in, Barrel betrayed by it. Buzz didn't stand a chance. Gives Tens that perfect time with the reposition out wide. Foxy9 cannot adjust it in time.
Down B.
Down to that 1v2. Heads appearing, Flashback has chances and opportunities, but the C's, no connection, just out of range, doubled up, Sen, the rifling surely does it, winning it, ADS Sassy! Barely there in time.
A big one for Sassy to win.
Switching sides. Match point.
What a time. He's been struggling towards the bottom of the scoreboard this map after an amazing champions. He's managed to put his team up to their first map point. DRX are going to take a tag timeout. That was a very different defense setup. I've been talking about the fact that Sen need to change up their defensive positioning.
Let's go!
This time, they put Zekken and Zelsis hard anchoring inside Market. They're not seeing just yet for DRX.
Time to work.
DRX are going to have to just win this round just to get another round, another go of OT. I believe for the first time in this map, Sen have now claimed the driving seat.
And also claimed an empty site.
Yeah, spam though, sprayed. That's Mako. Back for the short angle. Pure instinct on display there with that kill. Stray bullets and spam, only just connecting now to Sassy, spotting them out. Trips are going to be broken, but planned at least down. And now might be that second wave of things. It's a Prowler stun into the corner. Looking to lay claim to the life of one of these DRX players. But now here comes the util. Flowing through, C's going to be used in kind as well, pushing them back still. Player disadvantage here for Sen. Lots going to be asked of them. One way into their face. Sassy stands his ground, stalwart defender, rips them apart now, out through, and Mako just cannot withstand this. Flashback, and Bane drop down low to Cade into the single digits, and Bane will be no more. It's a 15-13 finish to the opening map of this series.
By crew. Abyss was the obvious pick here, but it looks like they were scared that Sen had it as a trap. Sen have never shown it. So now we get this clash. And DRX will be hoping that that neon pick for Zekken doesn't end up doing the same stuff that Kesnit did.
It's a counter with the fault line as well. Attempted to punish that one with the cam being broken. That is the goal, just to try and push back that impact that Zekken might have. Stuns, ricocheting, rebounding. The smoke's already propped up into the faces, but the blinds are still good for it. They're going to try and dominate these smokes, getting into the angle. Shock down to clear all these possibilities. But it comes down to just Mako, 1v2. Difficult scenario. Jumping, spotting. Zelsis, he's hunting for the information to try and set up Tens. Round, hopping, skipping, looking for the easiest. Fights here, isolated Mako. He's still alive. And Zelsis,
he's gone.
Scurries away. Doesn't want any part of that fight there, not when it just goes all topsy-turvy.
Mako is going on the long flank around as well. This could actually come down to who just gets the jump on the other. A pure timings game, a read of where somebody might end up being. But this pathing is so unusual. It's going to be weird for both players in this spot.
Zelsis is going to be feeling uncertainty, I think.
Where is he off to?
Yeah, Mako. He's gone around the world, around the map at this point, trying to play into the unexpected nature. Zelsis will go down to a couple of stray shots here, and it's all about if he just sets his side onto it, but he reveals his hand early. Smoke, it's dropped down, 21 health. Again, stray bullets could just cause it. Defeating the moment for the pistol. Mako would have to be that 3-piece, and it is! To the pure elation of the crowd, it's a pistol round here for DRX.
Less than 2 seconds available. And Mako takes it across the line. I've got to think that Zelsis didn't understand how weak Mako was in that spot. Didn't see exactly who done damage to Mako over the course of the round. But if Zelsis had landed a couple bullets himself, he wouldn't have that info relayed to him by the rest of the team. I guess with these kind of jump shots, he just isn't confident to know that only 21 health remains on the IGL for DRX. Because at that point, a stun, a right click, and Mako's done so. The Red Bull clutch pulled away.
We knew it was going to be a big ask. Some of the vets on DRX. Mako and Buzz to step up. to take it straight to them. I mean, Buzz right there, that is so precarious.
The short-range headshot with the Outlaw.
There's a lot that could go wrong.
Zekken did manage to get the better end of Buzz on Sunset. I mean, just outperforming, outvaluing. But Buzz has been outrageously good so far. The last month, it's been bonkers from him.
Yeah, top-notch form. I mean, looking like one of the best players in the world heading into the event.
Yeah. I mean, 1 KPR versus Fnatic on map 1, 1.2 KPR on map 2. He wiped them away. Yeah. If you allow Buzz to get rolling, and if you put an operator into his hands, on this defense side, he's going to get tough for Sen. Very tough.
He's already building up to it with that Outlaw. Definitely feel it, but
also quite a lot of respect given too, right? DRX not having anybody that just keeps the pistol into this round. So these are going to be the weapons they keep to the bonus.
Yeah, with that investment. The TP's up over the top here. Tens has potentially found himself a slight gap, but no, players are just weaving in and out and around him. Will he be able to get away with a gun? Not quite, so Foxy9 puts him in his place.
Sassy going around the world as well.
Uh-oh.
Team Ace.
Good cleanup. Only one player is going to be ecoing in this round for DRX. Otherwise, a bonus that's got some bite.
They needed this beginning, I think.
Yeah. I was about to say, it's tough to know who should be expected to be a favorite in this map.
Right.
DRX have been better if you look at what they've done on Haven all year. But recently, that game against Crew just sticks in your mind.
Yeah.
If they can shrug that off and get back to their normal performance, it should be a really good map for them, like Termi was talking about.
He's got to be careful here because already A short control, relatively lost. He's got to hear Distro now and should be calling some form of backup. It's very deep committed smoke as well. Drone only just being broken. DRX happy to give this one up actually for the retake. So it's pulled a lot of util out of SEN, anticipating that they could be anchoring.
I like that clear as well. Great stun that Zekken throws out. Tens teleports up to punish anybody that might be tucked short. They've clearly put some thought into these Neon XX, same as Sunset.
Celsius just sidestepping most of this util, not a paranoia up and over. That's a dash! Committed, a bit confident and overconfident by Buzz himself, still locking down the angles. Zekken have a hard task, at least with these players, dodging and weaving up and around here, and it does set him up. At least flashback for that kill. Celsius trying to avoid this one up and around the cage. Just follows the trail loosely. Damaged under these SEN players, definitely a little bit messy.
Damaged under the economy, absolutely true. 2 rifles were all that Sentinels managed to escape with there. But only 1 Bulldog needs to be bought, and Celsius is getting pretty close to his Rolling Thunder. So I don't think this is as bad as it might first appear for Sen. Celsius, speaking of him, that aftershock that he used in post-plan basically won them the round. The whole point for DRX there is that they're supposed to explode in off the retake, follow up on the Buzz. They couldn't manage it. Celsius there reaching for the trophy in real life as well.
Aggression by DRX though, that's a stun. And a dash from Buzz to try and play off of it! Ludicrous!
You can't be hitting those!
Getting away with a spray transfer one fully stunned.
Onto 2!
Yeah, it's definitely a day of first, mate. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. And Sassy with a re-exploration, he's seeking to offset that disadvantage, but DRX, they come right back at them with that firepower.
And a great set play to crunch onto A lobby as well. Buzz wasn't shooting against people that were shooting back in that spot. He was shooting against people that were blinded up, stuffed into a corner, and yet it's still so impressive, the mechanics on display there. Here's that paranoia thrown out from Mako, but the follow-up from Buzz, genuinely unbelievable. The spray control, even just onto Tens is amazing, but then to catch Zekken?
That's ridiculous. I do love a good delayed A-lobby fight.
If you let this guy get rolling, he could walk all over Sen. Zekken's got to be able to match him pound for pound. And with the hero rifle in his hands, Sen putting their trust in the young superstar.
Seeing if he can get that ball rolling, but wasn't offered any players. Mako. Got a feeling that that's leaning over towards B as well. Bullets landing, not dropping him though. Dodging around. Just drone is going to be used up and over. Dart through the back as well. Big reveal. The posturing sent away. Now looking to lean there. He's taken to the C side. Flashback is there, ready. He does have the rifle towards the back, but is it going to be trained well enough? Expecting tens, just in time, but is traded. And seconds here. Rifle play. Needed a reign supreme.
John's picked it up.
So a bit of recycling occurring here with a Rolling Thunder. Again, these DRX players. Bane could not escape. He's not the ire of that one. Buzz is right back into it, trying to take that fight. Plenty of players that are weak, but Maka now is forced to concede up that space and concede the round.
What a thrifty for SEN to be able to pull out. They only had one Vandal to work with, and Zekken made use out of it. Cool macro idea as well, called by John. That fake into B. John had already taken the space in Garage and was ready to break the trip, give that away as late as possible. But they did DRX dirty there, just taking them out one by one, slicing off a single player at a time, and then gathering up the guns as they went to pull off the MasterCard Thrifty.
It's a dangerous element, I think, of SEN's overall game plan. Not just game plan, I suppose. This was not really planned, but it's their ability to just jump on opportunities when they're presented them.
Absolutely. And that's what Buzz is trying to do at the end there as well, right? He's trying to find that timing back right before the neural theft comes through. Buzz, Blade Storm in hand. Going to be popping that one and trying to get value out of it in this round. And then maybe working his way up to an operator.
Oh, revealed up. I don't know where Buzz is, at least with the Blade Storm as well. SEN could scurry away into an opposite direction.
No trip over towards Garage here, completely clear. Double kill trip on site.
Just trying to play these players in as well, out through the back of the side as well. Stun, again, ricocheting cages. These are trying to help out the anchoring players. The Splashback is going to try and get them south, tucked into the corner, once more gliding. Second, there's no more, despite the paranoia was quite good. Aftershock now will clear out this player. Flashback, it's a miracle that he even gets the one, but Mako just trying to break their ankles. The unexpected angle. Buzz is right there. Blade Storm, he's slicing and dicing. No kills there, but the damage done surely. Enough tens. Quick evacuation with the TP barely out of dodge.
They had 10 HP between them there, the final two players on Sentinels. Tens with the majority of that, still only on 8.
A massive advantage still here for DRX, like you said. It's on 8 HP. Drone, saved for a rainy day, will clear through most of this one, so Tens could not play the off angle like he was hoping. Now just holding it. Shallow into the play. It's going to have to be pure, perfect, precision, whatever you want to call it! Buzz is there, instantaneous with the trades.
For a moment, looked like Tens was posted on the right line, but Buzz is good for it. Takes that kill, takes the defuse. I don't think he's going to have enough money to be able to go for the operator, though. It looks like he might need to help out his mates. Tens was great trading out kills all throughout the site here. It was all that DRX could do to hold on. Did manage to push things across the line.
Did well at least to give him an opportunity and a chance in that spot.
And actually, they've gone with a judge onto Flashback so that Buzz can have enough money to go for the operator himself.
Interesting.
So here comes the op.
Might not be expecting it.
They've smoked off their own op here to disguise the fact that Buzz is going to be playing in this direction. Normally, a smoke in this position means the op is not really going to be playing there. Why would the defending team want to smoke off their own operator? Just to disguise it and hope that SEN fall into the trap. They're not at all.
Trips, chewing up Zekken. Luckily, nobody onto the side to play against it, but the spam and the bullets, yep. Raining them down onto the players. It's a narrow choke point that makes it very easy and orchestrated. John QT through the gut of mid, drops down the cage as well because he knows he's getting cleared by that drone. Had to evacuate.
He was in a nice spot to try to listen for any defensive rotates.
Right back to Buzz.
They don't have drone.
That gets info. Now smoked off. Buzz's life made that much more difficult. Contact plays by SEN going to be called on the back of it.
Meanwhile, John might try to make a play Garage.
TP for the info. And John did try and make a play, punished. The judge in the hands of Flashback does work out, but Buzz is getting squeezed. But he's isolated one of the fight still, right from behind. Zekken tracking immaculate. He's been putting in the hours. It definitely shows. Zelsis with a plant, nothing to push it back. So it's a 2v3 to get themselves back into this still. Disadvantage for Sentinels. Need picks. You're gonna need them now. Open angles.
No
Smokes
spot.
fade.
I don't think they saw Foxy9 in heaven.
Holding for the flank. It's a paranoia from DRX, sweeping its way through, dropping down, clearing most of the way. This is methodical by DRX. But again, it comes down to these opening kills. Util into their hands. There was a chance and opportunity here in the TP. Mako is covering this angle. Foxy9 diffusing, sticking. It's already half. Has to lay claim to the kill, and he does just that. Beamed all the way through. Has to shock into the corner. Is it enough? Second, he survives the tap. Again, and needs to land it. The shot from Foxy9 at time. Just running away from him.
Seconds just clutched that one up with 2 HP to his name.
I'm out of here.
What is that?
Insanity that Zekken survives.
Multiple opportunities for Foxy to try to tag him with just a single bullet. The whistle of a bullet going past him would have dropped him at 2 HP. Foxy couldn't quite find the moment for it. Zekken played around that perfectly, drawing him off the defuse. Zelsis also put the fear into him with that fault line. And Sen clutch 2v3. DRX, they've looked like a great team out today, but in the clutch moments, in the chaotic, scrappy spots, the Sen player quality is coming out to shine.
That resilience as well that definitely shone through in a Madrid run. Veteran quality that they have ready. Buzz is just caught with his trousers down by the ankles there. He was way out into the open.
And that's the hero rifle finding no value. Smoked off though and recovered. Flashback picks it up, looking to do better. And DRX, they went for the flood defend in that previous round instead of trying to have Bane throw out his Hunter's Fury. It is still available, but he's posted up deep. They're constantly trying to get info on Sen early towards the A site.
They're not going to be able to hold on to this though. Bane's already stunned up. Darts and flashes. What a shot. Just holding down the line still. Rifles will make short work of these players. Off onto the flank.
And the hero rifle was flanking the whole time.
Bad trip. Oh, no, no.
Well, they're giving away at least one of them's back here. He's trying to sound bait to make them forget about Mako. No, don't worry guys, really, it was only me, the Cypher. He can also save this weapon, hoping that someone falls into the lap of Mako. But this is Sen tying things up 4-4. DRX have got no chances left in this round.
Might be a good thing for DRX that they just walked into the trip too. Sen might not fix it.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's a couple of different trips that you want to go for. That trip is actually still really good for defaulting over towards C and Garage at the start of the rounds. Because it still does block, like Buzz, if he wants to push up deep onto an angle in A lobby. It'll stop you, you know, getting pressured from behind.
Yeah.
But then when you go into A, you really want to be picking that trip back up and replacing it near the mid-window. Because that stops that flank as you commit to the A side coming from behind. But to be honest, little details like that will very easily get lost in the middle of rounds, where stuff like timing is much more important.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be sitting around messing with the utility if you have a split second you need to commit.
Hoping that somebody will walk into it,
but nobody did, and then they cleared him really effectively in the late round, even though they'd used drones. So, you know, if Sen are going to be really good at dealing with him on A, maybe you should be not putting him to fight short again, but that's what they're going for.
Yeah.
Same play.
He's got Foxy9 to at least break the dart. Cammed up though. Hunter's Fury. Here's a play to be made. Rolling Thunder! Shooting ducks! It's a target practice now for Zekken. He's got plenty more players here just trying to make the work happen. Paranoia to play off for DRX. Foxy9 is inserted. Tucked up close into the corner position again, and a stray bullet spammed back and away. The rifle aim here, but beamed down by Sassy in the end. Wrapped it all away. Sassy! A monstrous finish. And listen, could have gone either way with the way that DRX was shooting in those final moments. But he just about puts the bow on it.
I like the way that Sen took control of the smoke. And you're right, DRX started shooting back, but Sassy stepped up. He's had a great tournament so far. He had a very, very slow start to Sunset. And I was worried that today we might not see champions winning level Sassy.
Lift this if we try harder.
Hard enough. With the power of friendship.
Maybe that's how Sassy's getting resolved.
Oh my. And again, the economy takes a fall here for DRX. They're going to go for that delayed A lobby 5 at SEN. Not falling prey to it. Not again. Instead, working away over towards B now, knowing that all that util was used. Mako to be the potential of that timing. Stray shots rattled. Rolling Vonda committed. This is DRX using ults. Even they're weaker by. Yeah, they're all the way through. Mako though will deliver at least the one and the second. He's made it potentially winnable. Ults being used potentially not in vain. Flash is good. Buzz trying to land his shots and potentially stay safe in through the back of the cyber bodies, just poking out, opening up, gliding through, spraying them all down. Sentinels now. It's full momentum on their side.
It is. They've got a great read on what the defense is doing. Even the magic from Mako couldn't stop that round. Sen go in, they fake the plant over towards B, bait out the Rolling Thunder on an eco round from DRX. And does it catch a single player? I don't think so. They were out of there so fast. Sassy picks up a beautiful lurk kill, and then straight through to C. They know it's open doors. Their attack calling at the moment is remarkably good. And this is looking like a map where DRX, I guess, have been banning it for good reason, at least in the game against Fnatic, because out here today, the scoreline makes it closer than it has been.
Buzz has got to get aggressive. Camp to take it, spots a few players, but surely not long for this world. The dash is there, stunned up. It'll have to be a no-scope to survive! Oh my! Buzz does not quite get out of there, but the damage is done. Painful strike back here to the Sentinel side. They thought that they had all the answers and options for it. Operator retrieve, flashback. Make short work of John QT. Tens is still here, but not for long. Drop down to 30 HP, jump in with the classic. Drops him back to that spectator seat. So, DRX, maybe that's the key to victory.
Buzz will give you those, I guess. You called it out. He needed a no-scope to be able to survive that situation, and hits it. He was stunned up. He couldn't scope in. What is this round? This is the value that they've been looking to try to get from the guy, but I didn't think it was going to come this kind of way. All of the ideas there are still good from Sen. They just get outplayed. So this is now making it possible for an even half. And I think that would obfuscate a little bit of how much Sen have been in control, but if DRX can get round 12, that's an amazing starting point.
Oh my god, that strain. Mako is gonna get punished. The util in his hands was just too late. Overdrive, it's earned and his tempo increased. DRX have been struggling to hold a candle to any of it. Buzz has got to drop players and will do so at that. Chops off their heads and they know where the final few are. Inevitability now rearing through. That is decisive by DRX.
2 slam dunk rounds to end the half. Completely upturn your expectations of what was going to go on. 4 in a row, dominant attacking from Sen, cut short at the end. And it's 6-6. Absolutely anyone's game. And those final 2 rounds from Buzz are remarkable. He's also just destroyed Tens there.
Yeah. Playstore in hand, man. He's made short work of it, enough to make it even. Still anyone's game. An explosive series that we are being treated to.
Value that Buzz and Zekken have been able to grab today.
Yeah.
They've given us some electric rounds.
World-class plays occurring. This is Sen on their defense now.
Looking mostly set up to try to stop some kind of B pistol round from DRX. DRX, at least at the beginning, are going over and taking some long. This is what they were doing against Gen G in Pacific very regularly. They take this control and then reset, and sometimes go into the exec. This time looks like they're going to commit, which would be a lot of pressure on Sassy.
Yeah, and he's way out into the open right now. There's really no signs of it. He's going to have to play off to the side. Some timing to be taken, so...
40 seconds now until the next recon, though. And that's a big tool to not have for the retake.
Sassy holding on to the drone, though, waiting for that one. Zelsis, Aftershock, down and out, in through the corner. Drone does connect, and tag onto him. It's DRX, Buzz, he tried to play inside, and in front of most of his util, Sen are overwhelming! And that is an onslaught to occur before our eyes, and Mako left to pick up these pieces and do what he can. Stray bullets, damage done. Movement, hopping around. There's no easy target at all offered. And now it's inevitable. At that, a pistol round here for Sentinels and a 3-piece of 10s to close that.
Even without the recon online, finding value with drone and then just barreling in together. It's a great pistol that SEN have put together, but also it's making me think about future retake scenarios. Beginning of this year, and Madrid in particular, SEN were the retake team. We haven't seen that level of perfect success yet from them. I mean, they have had some phenomenal retakes when they played.
Tyson, we got this pistol. Tyson.
When they played
Let's go,
Icebox against Gen G, it was looking very clean. But yeah, dead even on pistols now, both of these two teams. Buzz is going to try to put a spanner in the works, picking up the Outlaw full armor. He's got 4 potential snacks.
So risky though. He does have plenty of targets, but if it goes wrong, economy tumbles for one player still. That's a 140. On either side here, but it was Tens who's the one who does fall.
No charges
Onto
left.
the wayside now on an open C side. Not the DRX are aware of it. They've slowed it to a crawl. Very cautious. They just spotted a body there. Celsius has been seen, but can't quite stop the gun into his hands and pulling himself in alongside John QT. Make the retreat for now. DRX is still not really forcing the issue. Buzz is going to try and lock that down. Zekken, one to the dome.
One enemy remaining.
All danger just evaporates at that. Zekken can stick this one with full peace of mind.
What a shot from Zekken. 10 HP on Buzz, but if he hits that one shot, it's just basically a fight. Whoever hits the shot is going to win the duel. And Zekken just adds a headshot in there just for style points, I guess. I like the idea from Buzz. Somebody's going to have to pay the piper, though. It looks like it's going to be Mako who takes the hit economically. So your IGL, former
yes, but
star
of
player of DRX, he ends up being the player that takes the knock.
Right there.
Guardian no armor
That is,
for Mako?
yeah, I guess.
That's gross.
It is. It's nothing to work with, really. Aggression by Sen.
Countered quickly, and that tells you that the stack was over towards C, right? The defaulting players were on the C side if the fault line's going to come out that quickly from the attackers. These players on A could be taking more space right now. I think SEN have missed a little bit of a trick there.
I think the goal was to call us a pivot, though, over towards A.
But as soon as the fault line comes out as a reaction, you know that they're not quickly running A.
Right.
Same time, SEN not willing to take the risk. Mako's taken nice space.
He has announced himself ever so slightly here. Through Garage, no trip to meet them. Bullets raining down, lead on either side. They're going to push back these players as well. If nobody's watching into the smoke, Celsius might make you punish. Still. Yeah, watching it. Flash to play him in. Good adjustment. Reactions by Bane. Just flicks and adjusts in time. Zekken playing himself in. So has to worry a little bit about the flank timing here, but I think he's heard the footsteps just scurrying away from Flashback. Still a hard retake, nevertheless. 2 Outlaws and a Guardian in the hands of these SEN players. And the post plan from DRX does look good. It's just a smoke to cut up the sight line. Mako makes it that much more difficult to partition here for SEN. Knows the angles, knows the timings, gliding into his face. They do at least do the damage in that regard. Still, it's all being played off site. They know they're off of it. The spike is ticking. 10 sticking. It's a few. I mean, okay, yeah. Just praying that he can maybe get away with that one.
Rifles? That's expensive. Error there from Flashback, but he wanted to make sure that there was no chance of a ninja defuse in that situation.
My thanks. Oh, this is a nice spot.
It's not going to be too bad. DRX's economy is still looking all right here. And now we get into rifle territory. SEN lead by only 1. It's a tentative advantage that they hold. Teams little way away from those big ults that we'd be paying attention to. Where did the DRX start their default?
That's full on. So no, I did anything about that. That's a lobby take. All that space that's given up here, DRX, they have a couple of options, but they instead just choose to send it straight over towards B. As an aftershock will have to be respected. TP from Mako. Around the world we go as a kill trip in the face, walking up behind it. Spam and spray it down. John QT could get punished. Tries to play off the stun and well lined up for him. The unexpected play, sometimes the better one. Buzz and Foxy9 dropped. Added a picture. Comes down to contact plays. For DRX, it's the only thing that can bail them out of this.
Shadows traveling.
Look at the passive positions that SEN are holding. Just making sure that DRX don't push even deeper than the site that they're giving them. Happy to play a retake 5v3. They just don't want to get caught by a lurk.
Ultimate is ready.
And Bane is lurking. It's Ten's job to watch for this.
Trying to play the backstab, flashback.
Cage triggered.
And goes for an attempt of it. Tens, though, catches onto Bane. And the options are limited. They know that flashback was posturing himself onto the angle as well. A flash to play Zekken in, cleaning up these players. Nicely done by SEN.
A big blow landed early for SEN on the defense side. DRX's economy is going to be hurting after that one. And the DRX idea there, they realize that there's a huge A lobby fight going on. And so they immediately call the pivot in to try to get a serious exec on B. And Celsius blocks it with just one aftershock. And I gotta think, do DRX expect the breach to be playing in short? Do they think he's not going to be in position there?
But you ran back.
I was stunned. I was like, I'll come in there.
They're talking there about that committing to the retake, I believe.
Just task ahead of him, I think, to go up against a player like John QT when John QT is calling really well thought out structured plays.
It's interesting because John is new to the tier 1 level, right? At least in partnerships.
Yeah.
And Mako isn't at all, but John's just been IGLing for so much longer. We're back in though.
Yeah, a fight to be taken. Outside of lobby. I'm sure we'll get game sound soon enough. Buzz just hopping away here. He's got the one with the hero rifle. He's got to do the most in this spot. Senna hard committing into that A lobby control, using the drone to add the next element to it. They can pave the way here. Now, oh, that's a hard commit. Oh, 180 snapped to the side here. This could be overzealous in nature from Sentinels, but they maintain the composure, now backing away.
I'm not sure they realized that DRX were on an eco round here. There was a possibility that DRX could have forced. That's a risky play to go for when you're on an anti-eco. They've left the C site open. There's still Cypher utility in that spot. See how far back John Cuty's fallen just to make sure he's holding on to space securely.
Flashback still with his rifle as well. He's inserted himself in through the backside of
This
B.
is actually going to be really tough to get back into.
Gotta clear up these players.
No one going through the B site. Everyone trying to go through this one way.
With how disjointed it is, but a one-way fails. Mako stand off the line. Use pound for pound though, it's slowing these players down. The rifle needs to get value. Second. He just beams him down. Mako, Sheriff, wrong target, but he does retreat, at least with the upgrade. Now he's going to try and play himself into this 1v3. Up onto the corner. Rifle spam, not enough. Sentinels now up to 10. The risky play at the beginning of this round as well. No punish in sight for it, despite the fact that it could have been that potential.
And Mako is going to be kicking himself. He almost got robbed in that spot. He 140'd Zelsis, sorry. There was only one player with full health. That was Zelsis. He 140'd him, killed John Cuty. One more bullet in that spot, and that's a winnable 1v3 for Mako. There were some serious risks being taken there for Sentinels.
Brutal.
But risks or no, they get it done. And now a 3-round lead. It is very similar, Brent, to Sunset. An even half that Sentinel starts running away with. Can DRX find the comeback, as they did in map 1?
The form that Zekken's in, leading with 20 kills here. Again, it's not obfuscating the intent to try and fight this one tooth and nail. Deep smoke, locked up in. Seeing if there's a player caught into the corner here. DRX is still looking like they're eager to try and refight this one. The paranoia, but do they expect this one? They don't. Zekken, he cuts it up. He's already got the Hunter's Fury. Supplements well. Foxy9 still maintains his composure. And the rifle aim at least intact to bring down Zekken.
It's good damage, but they have left B open. Flashback, taking this timing, finding his way through. Does anyone think?
Footsteps, knives out. Kills need to be claimed. Hopping over. Sassy gives him that easy sideline. Zelsis tied to the corner again. He will evade most of this, and it is sloppy by DRX. Despite all the aggression that was being made and played, Zelsis. 3K to finish it. Up to 11 now for SEN, and at this point, it really does feel like full momentum on display.
That's such a misread from DRX in that spot. When Flashback gets in position to get the kill onto Sassy, they just commit to the hit on A, as if everybody's now gone. I think they've just lost track there of their visual map of where the players are.
no more really buffer room here that's been built up by DRX to find a path back in.
Celsius has earned his ult. Breach ults on both sides. Sen backing up, expecting that this one would be used over towards A. Trying to posture, make it feel like there's still people there. Seeing if they can draw it out from Foxy9. But this is an eco round.
Right there.
If you're going to use your ults here, could you not have tried to force a little more and stop Sen from getting to 12?
Right there.
Again, it all just lands on the shoulders of Buzz. He's the one with the rifle, jiggling, cutting noise, up, down to that minute mark. Sen content to give up most of this space here. There's a smoke into the face of Sassy. He's going to spray them down! The Odin play. Chopping them up to pieces. Drone off and around, rebound with a shock dart. It's all collected kills potentially there. And a rifle aim, immaculate by Zik in the sidearm.
We did that.
To put that cherry on top, flawless. 12th round now for Sen. And this is the series here. Laid in wait.
They're so far ahead of these rounds. DRX are taking a little bit of A-long control, hoping that Sen are going to re-clear into them. Sen are already thinking 3 steps ahead. They're thinking, we want to be way off site here in case this breach ult is coming through. And just in terms of anticipating what their opponents are up to, Sen have been very strong today.
All smiles.
The
as
atmosphere's
well.
remained light,
Yeah.
even when we were in overtime on Sunset. But now they've got 5 chances to close out and start moving on to face a Chinese opponent.
DRX with essentially one last buy potentially here. A lot of ults built up. Could make good usage of it to at least turn this round in their favor. Round 20 will have to be the case, but Sen setups look incredibly well drilled. Willing to let Sassy hold and lock this down with the Odin in play. Very predictable in terms of the sight lines. Does have to be a little bit worried, but Sen are going to be trying to play himself back in. Util in his hands. That's a timing that's caught. Buzz, quick to capitalize. Up draft, up and over now with the dash. And Lat Util, it is perfection. Still the return of the fire. Here from Celsius, still looking at speed at Thorn in their size. Flash, through and out. It's good for it, but he can't adjust in time for Mako. Wrapping it around now with 30 seconds remaining. DRX to do get themselves now onto the site, into this plant. Tens, shoulder peeking, wins a fight onto flashback.
Bad fight to go for there.
A little bit more winnable now for Tens himself. He's going to try and put that nail in the coffin. Ballsy play. Skips the clearance on most of the side as well. He's looking to contact most of the way up through and around, but a knife out. Knife out, back turn, Bane! Strikes him down.
And so Sentinel's first opportunity to be able to close out DRX slips away from it. DRX kept it simple, kept it honest. A delayed A exec. It worked out. Buzz is going to need plenty more rounds like this. And the timing. Unfortunate for Sassy to get caught in that spot. Exactly the entry that Buzz was looking for. Celsius has picked up an Odin. He's going to be spamming down short at the start of this round. Everyone on DRX is there.
I think that might be Sassy potentially there, but he sends the dart flying back and over. They are getting chewed up entirely here. Hail of lead might be enough. Hunter's Fury seeking to offset this as well. No real connection. The delayed dart up and over the top. Ults are expended. Second though has not been pulled out of this spot. Stuns. They're good for it. And here's the flood defense. Sassy not removed. Unrooted. Players in front of him. Mako is barely alive, but this is it for Sen. Close down the curtain on that one. They are the career killers at this point. Knocking DRX down.